Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are having a wonderful, great day. I'm here today with Debbie DiMaggio, and Dylan from Better Home Inspection Incorporate, Inc., correct?
Yes, Inc., you got it.
Awesome, awesome. And we are doing another quick interview for Dylan. So Dylan, thank you very much for your time today.
Sure, of course.
Awesome.
So I just want to ask a few questions of you, Dylan. So Dylan has been my inspector for how long? How long do you think? Like 10 years? Oh, it's been a long
like 40, 50 years, something in there.
Exactly. He does all our pre-inspections for all of our listings, and he does all of our inspections for our buyers. And now a lot of our agents use him as well. He's very, very thorough and very helpful, and he's very calming when he explains things. He'll also take a call. He's done an inspection for us as the listing agent. He'll take calls from the potential buyer. So he doesn't give anyone a hard time. He's very, very forthcoming with his time. And he does have a cute little 4-year-old in case he gets interrupted. So with that, I guess the first question is how's it going since we've been sheltering in place for the last 2 months?
Well, business was, as far as home inspection, it's considered essential because it deals with safety issues on houses. Business has always been fairly consistent up until about 2 weeks ago. It became a little bit slower, but one of the things that I really appreciate about the real estate market is because it's such a powerhouse internationally. The buying and selling of real estate is such a major thing that nothing is going to stop it. The COVID's not going to stop it. Yeah.
You have a great point, because you know what, the real estate keeps going. There's always people being born, getting divorced, passing away. So real estate is one of those things that we all need to have. We all need a roof over our heads. So Dylan, quick question for you too. Right now that we're in the middle of COVID, what advice would you give an agent like Debbie or like myself, so we can tell our sellers how to better prepare for inspections during COVID?
Well, it would be the same whether COVID is here or not, and that's basically to give us or allow us full access to anything that's critical, such as electrical panels, attic hatches, crawl space hatches, any kind of information that you have on the house or the building is great. If you know or approximately know how old your roof is. Now, mind you, we make guesstimates and everything. When it comes to specific items such as water heaters or furnaces, we have the actual data on those units. So I can give you the exact date of when those were manufactured and pretty much when they were installed. But roofing is kind of a guesstimate. Siding, as far as repainting or something to that extent, is kind of a guesstimate. Depending on the wear and what it looks like. So yeah, basically access and any general information that would know about the house would be best.
Yeah,
Awesome.
It's good to I would say, things that he would need to know. Well, having, a lot of times there's padlocks in basements or crawl spaces. So making sure that the agent has left you a key to access that. Or if there's sump pumps, I think it's up to us, the agent, to ask the buyer or seller, or the seller, or or the listing agent, is there a sump pump? So because that obviously is going to be in a low point of the house, and that it might not be found, and then later during another inspection it might be found, and that could set your deal apart. So any of those little things, it's helpful. The inspector is not God. He's not Superman. You need to tell him, if there's anything you do know. And of course the seller's going to know all those things.
Well, of course. And I'm assuming that things still the same then. You need to have electricity, you need to have water, you need to have gas, you need all the essentials to be turned on before the inspections, correct?
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah. Anything that's not turned on just becomes detrimental to, if I'm doing a seller's inspection, to the seller, because, they don't, I can't give that information. The whole point of a seller's inspection is basically to run a defense so that, they understand, and it's full disclosure in California, that they understand everything that's possibly that could be possibly wrong with the house at the time of sale. So it's really helpful and advantageous for the seller to know as many things wrong as possible. And it's also advantageous for the buyer as well. I mean, that's the whole point of doing a home inspection. One of the things that sometimes people will just hire contractors to go and kind of do a general inspection instead of a home inspector. I don't necessarily suggest that, just for the fact that if all contractors did the job that they were supposed to do initially, my job wouldn't exist, and they're not supposed to be experts in codes, and they're not supposed to be experts in any of that kind of stuff. So that's why we are here to say, oh yeah, he did a pretty good job, but this might be a little bit off, or this, and my job is not to say somebody did a terrible job. That's not it. My job is just to say, well, this is the way it's supposed to be. It's close, or maybe it isn't, that kind of a thing. So yeah, it's never to hinder anything. It's always just to, just to say, this, if you want to fix something, do it, but this is what the whole picture is right now. So.
Right. And you have to follow a set of guidelines. So it's you're just laying those out there for everyone to see.
Absolutely.
And then a good thing about doing the pre-inspection, the seller can go and fix some of those things. We're about to bring a house to market, and it looks completely different from when you inspected it. You might want to go back and look. It looks really good. We did a lot of work to it, but Dylan will update that report based on photos and notes sent by the agent and the seller. My husband doing the paperwork, and Julia, the
God bless him.
Yes, exactly. All that paperwork. Thank God I have a partner.
Awesome. Well, perfect. So now so we understand this, and for all the sellers out there, so Dylan can go ahead and he can do a seller inspection, so you can prepare your home before you hit the market. That way, what needs to be addressed. And for the buyers, you hire Dylan to go ahead and make sure that everything is done as perfect as possible and according to code, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, perfection. We're always looking for perfection. I think in the 15 years that I've been doing this, I've come close twice. But still no cigar. I haven't seen a perfect house. There is no perfect house. Even with new construction, there's no perfect house. So, maybe someday I'll find that perfect thing, but, even close to perfection is okay. It's okay for me.
Oh. Any other last tips or anything you want to share?
Tips. General maintenance is a good thing for the house. Changing your air filter with your furnace is a good thing. They suggest, depending on manufacturers, but, some will say every 6 months, some will say every 3 months. I never do it according to the manufacturer, just because it's, you have to go and do it,
Right.
And I'd rather go do something else, like make myself a sandwich. So,
Awesome.
General maintenance, and it's good, to get the experts to come, especially with furnaces yearly. Electrical, you don't really have to think about too much unless something happens, but just general maintenance, and painting maintenance, they suggest every 10 years for typical siding. It can be sooner than that if you feel that there's some damage or something to that extent, but usually everything that's installed in your house, anything that's mechanical, will come with a manual. Most people never open the manual, but it's good it's at least good to go to the portion that says, oh, generally, yeah, me too. Go to the portion that says, oh, when should you have it serviced? Servicing is always a great thing because it elongates the life expectancy of whatever it is that it is. So, yeah.
Awesome. What is the best way to get a hold of you?
At this point, carrier pigeon is great.
Works for me.
Carrier pigeon is great. No, I mean, calling is generally the best way. Texting is okay. Email's okay. And I think it would be in that order. Calling would be number one because you get me immediately. Generally, I answer 99% of my phone calls unless I'm in the hills where the reception is terrible or under a crawl space or something to that extent. Yeah.
And the number is?
Oh, my phone number?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. But phone number, phone number is area code 510-432-9898.
Awesome. Yay!
Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Okay, guys.
Well, thank you.
Okay.